What's up, my XRP brothers from another mother and my cute XRP sisters? This is Rob with the Rob 007 channel coming to you from beautiful Venice Island. Absolutely gorgeous day down at the beach, 5 out of 5. And the title of this episode is The XRP 007 Skyfall is in a Free Fall. By fear, by blood, bullish AF LFG. Why? Charts don't lie. Watch this episode to the end. And this actually, this is yesterday's episode. I filmed it, and at the start of that episode, I said, this is a short 007 7-minute video that will get you pumped up for 2 reasons. So now you got a double episode, because right after I filmed it, I came back in. You know what happened. And thank you as always. We're should cross finally over 6,000 subscribers on this video today, so appreciate each and every one of you. Just really love this community. So indeed, if you are new to this channel, if you would hit the subscribe button to subscribe, the bell for notifications, that like button, tap it, slap it, whatever you feel like. I know what you guys can be doing this afternoon. And if you do Twitter, follow me at Rob XRP 007 up on Twitter. Let my XRP Twitter family. And a disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. This channel is for purely entertainment and educational purpose only. And don't forget about the fine folks at iTrustCapital. I can think of a lot of reasons to keep them right now, i.e. yesterday, as they have moved into pole position for my number 1 to custody XRP. Because one, they have no custody fees. Their trade fees are only 1%. And when you sign up, you get a Ben Franklin. Yes, that's $100 for FREE, as they say. And yeah, love those guys. And also, and you guys are doing it too. It's a lot of fun. I love that. I've had my iTrust for 5 years, and you can custody your XRP there. You don't have to have an IRA. What else would I do? That trade fees 1%. And also, don't forget about the fine folks at Caleb and Brown. And I'll be talking about them in this episode. And then you guys might want to get busy and do that. That link is in the description as well. Only takes less than 48 hours to get funded and KYC. And we're going to be discussing them. And then the fine folks at Kraken. You guys eating up the Kraken. I love Kraken too. I'm on it almost every single day. $75 signing bonus when you open up an account and you trade $200. That's a 40% return in 1 day. And get them both, baby, and then so you get twice the fun. And last but not least, if you're looking for ROI on your XRP, OMG, and it's institutional grade custody to boot. I mean, the highest level of institutional grade you can find. So when you're worried about losing your crypto, all these shenanigans going on with the exchanges, just email me your name, number, and a good time to call. My email's in the description. Be leery of the imposters on this site as well as Twitter. I will only like and heart on the comments on YouTube. And I do love Twitter, so I will communicate with people over on Twitter and direct messages, or who wants to DM me over there. Shout out to Ben up in beautiful Wilmington, North Carolina. Hope you got through yesterday as well, my friend. You know what? He sent me an extremely nice, generous gift that came FedEx yesterday in the mail. And actually that gift, let's just say it's going to be worth a lot of money. Let's just say like in 6 months. Thank you so much. And we're going to go celebrate together. Look forward to meeting you and your girlfriend in person. Currently, it's just ugly. Bitcoin is at 116.676. No, this was yesterday. And then XRP is at $2.67. That's when I wrote yesterday, and we know where we are now. And I said, holy fill in the blank Batman. That's when it was at 267. And yes, we know now. Welcome to the wild, wild west of crypto, my friends. And if this was your first rodeo and you did not sell, congratulations, you are legend in diamond hands. And yeah, so I was filming yesterday's episode when I hopped in the car. It was 272, and then I'm done filming. I come inside. My youngest son pulls up from college, and so once he's waiting for me, he's out by the pool. And then when I see him, he says, "Dad," he says, "have you seen it?" I said, "What?" He says, "It's 212. XRP's 212." And I said, "Are you kidding?" A 60-cent drop, literally, and it's definitely a WTF moment. And to break down what happens, we'll do it from the Todd Report. Shout out to you, Todd. Hope you're having fun in wine country and Paso Robles. It began with, in the morning, I believe China did slap tariffs, all countries around the world, at 100% on goods going out on those tariffs. And then later in the afternoon, so that sent that first wave at 280 to 282, 282 to 272, right? But then by 4:30 in the afternoon, guess what? Trump, he makes a tweet. about a 100% reciprocal tariff on China. That's what tanked the markets. And by the way, there's a real comical tweet I saw that it says, all your TA just can't hold a candle next to my tweets. And it's so true. You can throw your TA out the window. That's pretty funny. But anyway, it's still in charts. We'll be talking about it. And you know what? It only took, get this, that dump, that liquidation only took 8 minutes. 8 minutes. Unbelievable. It is the tallest wick down on all the coins. Not only XRP, but so many of the alts were down 50%. When I looked at it, when it was there at that 220 range, it was down 25, 26%. But so many others took it on chin. HBAR was down 50%. Cardano ADA was down 50%. And a lot of them got all the way down to 80% just across the board. And it was bought up really quick, no mind. And so anyway, the volume of those liquidations was 19 billion. That actually dwarfs what happened in COVID. It actually by 10x, 10 times. It's like the other ones were like 1.8 billion during COVID and FTX, somewhere right around there. And so, yeah, and the longs were liquidated. And then you can look, it changes on every single different exchanges. Over on TradingView, they had the wick down to $1.75. But guess what? Over on Binance, they took it all the way down to 77 cents. Unbelievable. And also during this escapade, Coinbase, Binance, Uphold, among a few, all had trading halts. So it made it impossible to sell your XRP if you wanted to not get wrecked by it, for some who wanted to do that. It made it impossible for others to even buy the dip. And then also, guess what else? Coinbase is having problems with withdrawals. There you go again. And that's another reason, probably the biggest reason, when I say I love my Caleb and Brown account, and what I told, as is in yesterday's video and the one before that, I said when we hit the banana zone, we can be good and can be bad. Like yesterday's event, you can actually have your sell orders or your buy orders in there. So on Caleb and Brown, you could have gone over and say, just for grins, I'm going to put a buy order for $1,000 to buy XRP if it hits $2, you know. In which case you would have just instantly been up 25% and been able to execute that order. That's why I love Caleb and Brown, because they are. And you get a broker you can call to as well. So link is in the description if you guys want to get going with them. And you know, not financial advice, but it's good to de-risk. I have been de-risking for the better part of 5 years. That is not to store all your crypto in one place, just in case. If I have a fleet, I like to think of a fleet of ships or a fleet of pirate ships. If one goes down, the rest of the fleet, I can lose two or three. That 2 or 3 I have left, enough to be to get to the finish line and get to Valhalla. So yeah, so that's why I do not just one. I have a Caleb and Brown account. I have an iTrust account. I have a Kraken account. I have my cold storage as well, and I have my institutional grade custody, which is the one that makes me sleep best at night, quite frankly. And the good news out of yesterday as well, while everybody was looking at the panic and blood in the streets, you know that all the XRP spot ETFs, that the companies that were institutions that were actually applying for that, they actually filed their S1 form to expedite and speed it up. So XRP, in yesterday's episode, I was talking about, hey, we're at 267. If we don't hold 267, we're going to drop as 245 as support. We'll find our next level of support. Well, guess what? Through all the noise, getting down to like all the way down, whether it's 77 cents on Binance or $1.75 on TradingView, we're at 249 at last check. What is that? That's at 245 support. So yesterday's words were still true in what I had on the TA, and we simply find ourselves there. And yeah, wick down 80%, unbelievable. And it makes me think about, for those, unfortunately, that had leverage trades, those are the ones get wiped out. I've never done one leverage trade in my life, nor would I ever do one as well. But I can't imagine if I did, if I was going to risk that, and let's say we were at 280, and I'm going to say, I'm going to go long, but I'm going to do 2x, 5x leverage trade, I probably would have said, I want to be really safe to make sure I don't get liquidated. So I'm going to set it at $2, or I'm going to set it at $1.50. You know, that'd be $1.30 away. That'd be a huge dump. And to think that it got down to 70 cents on Binance, nobody had a stop loss at 77 cents. I bet you that. Poolside Chad, it goes on to say, this was an institutional flush out, a planned and coordinated attack. He says, get rid of as much crypto retail as possible. Indeed, Chad. And also currently right now, as of today, before I hopped in the car, we had Bitcoin at 112, 512, down 5% on 24-hour. And again, our XRP at 249 is down about 6.5%. But this is actually from yesterday's episode, and the song remains the same today, but I'm even more bullish than I was yesterday, and I'll tell you why. And that's it. I'm more bullish than ever. After an event like the big liquidation event, the way I see it is the bottom's in and it's blue skies from here. And I'll have one little caveat to that because yesterday also brought with it the Japanese 10-year bond also continuing to go up. So indeed, if we had a liquidity crisis, and I'll be talking about the one with Tether this upcoming week as well. I got to make a note to myself. Somebody remind me on that, because we'll address either one of those could send the market crashing. And the liquidity one, that one, on the other hand, could bring about a flip of the switch of our XRP. I don't think anybody would complain about that. We've talked about numbers of that. And again, as of today, I got a feeling we're going to be getting, this is what I feel, this upcoming week that we have, Tuesday, Monday's Columbus Day, banks are closed, so will trading, unfortunately, so it makes a long, painful weekend when they got to go through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Everyone gets back to business on Tuesday, but I got this feeling, well, one, that we're going to get all those XRP ETFs approved. I got a feeling we're going to get the XRP ETF approved on Friday. Okay, that would be the 17th. But we could get them all approved by that date. And if we do that, if we get them all, then we're going to get this party started. It's going to be exciting. And then if we get them all approved, why I'm so excited, that for me just paints, if not immediately, a $20 XRP, which is going to be the bottom floor from which we build up off of, okay? And then it's just gonna line for that perfect storm, a massive new wall of money that's pushing in and pushing up the price of XRP, because it's simple, supply and demand. It's easy. But bet your bottom dollar, this is another thing. We talk about the things we know, what about things we don't know? I have a feeling next week we're gonna get some kind of announcement that comes out of somewhere, that's going to rock the crypto world and send it to Valhalla, and pumping big, tall green candles in the opposite direction as what we had yesterday. And for a little TA down by the beach by Dark Defender, says Black Swan event crash. This is the biggest tide before the tsunami. Yeah, and like if you ever seen and watched documentaries on these tsunamis that happen, when they start to come in, the water can recede from the beach quarter mile, and that's what happened yesterday. But it receded like 10 miles, right? And then Patrick O'Reilly chimes in. He says, if we close above, shout out to you, Patrick, by the way. Look forward to seeing you at some point again in the future. At 311 this weekend. If we close above it, it says it will be the bullish weekly close in history. And I'll be talking about that weekly TA charts in this episode. Pharaoh on X says, what comes next after the mother of all liquidation grabs? You know it, the mother of all God's green candle. Coming to an XRP theater near you. And the very best encouraging note, this is from David Schwartz, my financial advisor, by the way. He is one of them anyway. Along with Brad Garlandhouse. That's my other one. 2 words that he tweeted up on X: 10x times. Next stop, $25. Comment down below. Want to know what you guys think. But yeah, I think it is showtime. And remember, this is just noise until you have to sell some, and then it's just fill in the blank painful. But and it makes me think, my executive producer, he thought of a lot of words that people probably used yesterday, some colorful metaphors perhaps, and adverbs and adjectives. Well, there's that one that we all know, the word crap. Well, it might not mean what you think. From his book of knowledge, crap is a shortened for the word crapulous, which actually means to feel ill from too much food. But you didn't know that, so next time you hear it, you'll see it in a slightly different light. And so why did all this happen? First, Trump levies tariffs on China, and then that wasn't the only thing that just happened. But then he threatened it, and yeah, he spooked the markets in the morning. But yeah, that was all about the tariff stuff that's in it. But it's interesting the timing. I found out this morning from Brewmaster Brent, shout out to you, Brent, saying that over on Binance, they doubled their short position 30 minutes before Trump made his announcement. and I think they profited, them or another entity profited $88 million. Don't believe it is true. And breaking news, Poolside Chad says the other good news that came out of Friday, guess what? Canary Wise, they had their spot XRP ETF has a ticker symbol. It's XRPC. It's not if, but when. And also breaking news, shut down to last until October 17th, according to Chuck Schumer. He says that they're going to keep the government shut down until there's a rally in D.C. about Kings or something, and Antifa's going to be there. So that's where this line up really good about the ETFs. If we are open for business, then we get those approvals on the 18th. That would be divine if we could even just get the first one, but if not, get them all. Now let's talk about the good, bad, and the ugly. Well, we certainly have talked about the ugly for a while. The good is what? You're blessed to hold XRP, not financial advice. Bad, the markets are in a free fall. Yeah, that's an understatement. And then the ugly is, well, I'm going to switch gears. It's not about the Black Swan event. It's about the Dems, the Democrats and the Clarity Act. And apparently there were some it was leaked about some changes they wanted in that bill. And it's, let's just say this, it's the opposite of what enables the United States crypto to become the crypto capital of the world, to allow you guys to have the most freedom to actually hold digital assets and to earn yield and interest off of it, and also to hold, keep the United States from being innovation hub for cryptocurrency and not have them leave and go offshore. So anyway, and you know what? And this kind of leads me to this. You ever notice that if you get sick and you get a prescription, you can't understand what it says, and you can't read it, right? So you go up to the pharmacy and you hand it to him. So can you please tell me what that says? And he looks down at it and he says, it says, I got paid, did you? That's pretty much what it is, like up in the Senate and the Congress and on both sides of the aisle, that they actually are paid by who? The lobbyists. Unbelievable that this is actually even allowed. And the biggest lobbyists, the banking industry. And make zero doubt, the banks, your JP Morgans, your BlackRocks, all these people, they do not want to let go of the golden goose that laid the golden egg. So while it's this, they are just churning and printing money like a tether money printer. So will they make money in the future? Yes. Is it going to free up liquidity for them? Absolutely yes. But there's a lot of powers that be that want to keep the foot on it, on the neck of XRP. Why am I bullish AF? And this afternoon, and twice as bullish today. Charts don't lie, and this was before yesterday's event. I saw the absolute most beautiful chart on the weekly, and it is absolutely clear as day that on the weekly we're about to pump. Parabolic, and the reason why I mentioned that is just one indicator called RSI, which is relative strength indicator. If it's below 40, we're dumping. If it's above 70, we're pumping. There's only been 3 times that we kind of crossed into these at the bottom that were below 40, and that's within the last since 2017. Prior to that, so I can go from 2017-18 bull run, we're down here. The 2021 bull run, we're down here, and when Trump got into office in November, we're down here. So this one in 2017, beautiful pump. You know what the RSI hit? 95, unbelievable. 2021, not even close. Same thing when last November, not even close. All right, paled in comparison. But we have that bottom down here, and that's why I said we may be one more week before we get out of Dodge. Once we cross over, it shows we will be now in alt season for XRP, and we will be pumping. So buckle up. It's going to be a great ride. And so, yeah, possible one more week. And again, with what happened yesterday, I think all that, liquidity's gone. And now we got, diamond hands that are in here holding XRP. You're not going to find a lot of sellers. All right. So the 2017-18, unbelievable how it had that 95. I'll tell you why it's going to be up around 95 again. And this because the setup on XRP is that we have unprecedented, uncharted waters that we've never had before in any prior bull run. And then this is what we have happening that's never been in any bull run. A pro-crypto president, a pro-crypto administration, a pro-crypto chair, a pro-crypto SEC, a new crypto czar. We got the Genius Act for stablecoins. Then we got the Clarity Act, which is forthcoming, not quite there yet. We got Ripple becoming a bank at the end of October. We got 20 plus XRP spot ETFs. That was never been part of the equation, minus Grayscale back 5 years before the lawsuit hit. We got institutional demand, and we have strategic reserves, never existed before, and the RLUSD. Add to that the diversity that Ripple's done between custody, Hidden Road, with their prime link to becoming, now having the pipeline to prime traditional brokerages in the financial world. So finally, zero doubt. All seasons here by Thanksgiving, zero doubt we'll be knee deep in tall cotton. And that's not far away. And yes, I am absolutely gonna love, do love enjoying taking profit off the table. But so yeah, I will take some off at 20 bucks and some others. It's gonna be oh so sweet, but zero doubt. What I'm waiting for is the Clarity Act for not only when it's passed, but the day it goes into effect. So I can see it, not if, but when banks and institutionals start using XRP for large wholesale payments, and zero doubt we will hit 4 and 5 digits. Not if, but when. Does it happen overnight? I don't care if it does or not, but we're on our way. The floor is going up. That, my friends, is called a bigger boat. See you guys in the next episode. Peace out.